So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about reflections on this call. And we're going to talk about takeaways and what it meant to be part of this program and the path forward from there. There's a lot of exciting things coming up. So first off, I just want to let you guys know that what you guys have done in the last 30 days, men have not done ever in more than 30 years. And it's really awesome to just observe and to experience it. I am truly honored and I'm appreciative that you guys jumped in with both feet, because this challenge was crafted from my personal experiences. It was the first of its kind, just throwing in all the things that I felt was impactful for my own life to be able to bring it to a wider audience and to have you guys have trust and faith in me, and also having the courage in yourselves to take this on. It was a very beautiful thing. So I thank you for that.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
All right, let's see if I can turn off this sound here. Oh, you guys share that music. Oh, absolutely. I'll share it on the, I don't know if Joseph is listening in or not, but yeah, that's one of my favorite songs that I actually played at the retreat at the Zen. What I want to do here is I have a series of questions, and we're going to answer each question one at a time. The question is for you, Josh. What did you find the most impactful when it came to jumping into the 30-day challenge?
I would say the journaling. That's, we've talked about it before this challenge too. Something I'm still struggling to make the habit of it, but the more that I do it, the more that I feel I get out of it. To me, it's just like giving that opportunity to really be honest with myself and reflect in a whatever that looks like kind of way every day. I felt like I really started digging into things I hadn't thought about for a long time. So it didn't matter what the activity was that we were doing, it would bring up other things that were going on, whether it was just that day or from 20 years ago or something like that, depending on what we were doing. So yeah, I think the journaling for me.
What about you, Vanel?
For me, to be honest, I didn't get too in depth with journaling. I'm the type of person that I like to just put myself on video. And I love that you say minimum post 3 a week, right? And tag you. But I made it a point to tag and do it every day, every challenge. And that's my favorite part, because I know, thank you for spreading this and providing this a wider audience. When I do that, I feel like through you and through me, I can help spread the word more. Help people see the stories around me, and people bring it up around me too. They're like, what was that? Is that what you do when you stay at home? And they'll see me in the shower, they'll see me do all this stuff, like staring at Otis for 10, 15 minutes. I love sharing those videos. It's something that I would love to watch again. I know people see it, and I think it sparks their interest and curiosity too. Like, what am I doing? I like that because it sparks a lot of conversation. It helps remind me to talk about it with people. I don't really journal as much, but I love that I can post it and share it without any judgment. So that's my favorite part.
All right, Joseph, what about you?
I would have to also agree with Josh that it was the journaling. It's difficult to say one challenge that more impactful than the others, but collectively at the end of the whole 30 days, there were a lot of truths that came out from the journaling. And I think the difficult part since then has been every single one of the challenges had a prompt or a deep-seated question that forced you to look at yourself in a different way. Yeah, I think that's probably my biggest takeaway. Just asking yourself the hard questions.
Yeah. And what did they reveal to you?
Things like my childhood, how my parents raised me, how I am who I am, things that I don't notice about my body, things that I'm a people pleaser. I tend to make choices that are clouded because of that. Yeah, off the top of my head.
Parts of you, Joseph, are a people pleaser. There's other parts of you that are not. And those are the parts that you're leaning into now. So we'll keep it on you for now, Joseph, but what did you feel shifted for you, either internally or externally, or both, by doing the challenge?
That shifted for me. I look at a pile of tasks and I don't feel like I need to do everything. But there's just more of an internal voice because you can't stop yourself from feeling feelings like feeling anxious thoughts or being, or having a bad day. But there's a lot more like telling yourself that like this is like you can self-regulate a bit more on days where I'm getting so many notifications from people that they're think back to the 24-hour challenge, and I'm like, oh, it's fine. These are other people's to-do lists, and I should just work on what's important to me in this moment.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, that's beautiful. So it's finding out what is purposeful for you and just building the clarity in your day-to-day, aligning that with your purpose.
also goes into the people around me too. Just thinking about who is in my life and like how I'm interconnected with them. Why are they here in my life right now? Why have I chosen to put my energy and time and just being grateful for things?
All right. What did you feel shifted internally or externally?
What shifted in me is life is really a lot slower from the life that I had before. And I love that there was this program to help shift me into a place where I can be a lot more calmer without feeling like I still need to act out, like express myself. I can express it in calmer ways, I feel like now. Someone noticed that in me too. I just feel a lot more calmer, more intentional in what I want to do here. And just really absorb the environment around me. And I get to give people that new version of me, and it's been well received. So it's really cool because no one here really knows who I am before the move. And so moving forward with the new version of me is still good. I'm still making a lot of friends. I do wholeheartedly feel like I'm real to myself with my ethics and morals and how I want to meet people. And that's what I feel shifted in my personality.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And that reminds me, we were talking about this earlier, but watching Thor Ragnarok, right? And, in the movie, they talk about their hometown, Asgard, and they constantly remind themselves that Asgard is not a place, it's a people. For you to unroot and pack up and move halfway across the world with all the family here, I understand completely that there's a level of uncertainty and anxiety that comes with that, and a huge feeling of FOMO. But what I really felt in you, Vonang, is like seeing how centered and grounded you've become over these last few weeks. And like you said, it's a testament to the work that you've done, and also to be able to really know yourself to really understand who you are and know that home lies with you and yourself and your heart. And it goes wherever you go, right? And you get to bring that. You get to bring that home with you. So it's really beautiful that you were able to bring that love and that energy to New Zealand. And it's beautiful observing.
I've always said multiple times before we left, when I say bye to people, that I'm going to bring a little bit of you, everyone to know here, and introduce it to New Zealand. Like it's part of me. And I'm the funnel, right? All these memories and stories and experiences, good times, I funneled it through me. And then I get to like kind of spread it out over here. So everyone in some ways knows a little bit of everyone that I know back in the States. And I think they feel that too. And I love sharing stories.
All right, Josh, what about you?
I think a couple of things, a little bit on what Bandung said, like intention. Like, I think it's always a struggle for me. Also, Joseph talked about being a people pleaser and kind of getting outside of that and being able to look at what your intention is more directly, more purposely, more impact. I think that a lot of the activities help me think forward on that. And then the journaling, I guess, for me brought up a lot of just past self. And so I think a big part of this for me was like, again, we dug into this a bit in our previous group as well, but it's like some of that letting go of the past, forgiveness for things maybe you've done or those people, those around you, the way you were raised or those kind of situations, and like understanding how they maybe had lingering impacts on you over time that you kind of put out of your brain, and confronting them head on, some of those activities where you're just staring in the mirror or just writing these things out, like digging up these memories and like picking at old scabs almost. But I think for me that like helped clarify and focus, like these were part of me and they're part of who I am, but at the same time that intent of who I want to be, and being able to let go of that and embrace the new.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's a humbling reminder that in order to fully love yourself, you got to love all parts of you, the good and the bad, all of it. And being able to embrace it, like you said.
Yeah.
All right. So, Josh, what part of the challenge helped you feel the most alive and in your masculine?
I would have to say that probably like the more physical things for sure. The kind of kick you in the ass, the cold shower, wake you up, the push-up days. Yeah, day one, wake up day. But then, like doing the daily, early morning exercise, even the screen, the release, all of those things, I think really helped me connecting that physical, the body, reconnecting the mind and the body with those activities. I think I tend to get very analytical and in my head, and those are great tools for me to kind of reset the balance, I guess. Reconnect.
Awesome. Joseph, what about you?
Doing a workout, getting the body huffing and puffing. Even just like expressing some things like your needs as well. Those are things that you don't really keep to yourself more. So, yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to expressing your needs, and your latest comment there says who? Was that you? Your parents? Says who? Like the ability to express your needs prior to the challenge, or the lack of it.
Yeah, I mean, Asian household, right? Like you don't get a terrible amount of validation from them. Not a lot of praise. Love is expressed differently. And so Or if you express something, even if you really meant it, maybe if it's against their wishes, then you get a negative response to it. So you should learn to keep that to yourself.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, because that's exactly how intergenerational trauma is passed down. Where
I don't,
your steps.
I'm not very good at praising people.
Yeah, and has Evangeline ever talked to you about that?
About praising her? Yeah. All those things.
You have an opportunity every day to do that, Joseph.
I do say things, but I think it has to come out of a genuine place.
Absolutely. Yeah. Should always be genuine.
Yeah.
For Michelle, it comes down to 8 genuine hugs a day. Yes. It doesn't matter if we had an argument. It doesn't matter if I was gone for the whole day or was available the whole day. It comes down to those 8. And you'll find out what that is for her.
Or physical hugs.
And that works for her. That gives her the safety and comfort.
Yeah, physical touch is love language.
All right. So, Dong, what made you feel the most alive?
Oh, I just want to point out, I have to pick up the kids at 3 o'clock when they get out. That's my time, 3 o'clock. So I got 20 minutes.
Okay.
But what made me feel most alive is knowing that it was laid out in this program and, kind of being told what to do is a relief. Like, just follow it, just do it. And what made me feel alive most is I never hesitate to do it. There could be a bit of like, maybe like that public eye looking at you. Like, I know we do push-ups every hour. I was doing it in random streets, at the kids' school, at their gym practice, in the grocery store. People saw me and I don't care. It felt good. Like, I felt masculine that way. Like, whatever the challenge was, and if it involved people being around me, I'm not afraid to show it, do it, explain it. Especially like that day when we can't use our phones and I really wanted to take photos. It allows me to make a friend and go up to them and tell them, hey, I don't have my phone. Can you take photos for me? And without hesitating, like, I don't know if they will do that. And we ended up being good friends. And that person ended up being the wife of the coach that I work with. She agreed with it. Yeah, no phone. And she said she even offered to go up and take videos and pictures for me. And then I got footage through her. So that's what made me feel good about just not being shy from those things. Because of the challenge, it allowed me to show up in that way without being nervous. And I'm glad that I'm built that way. I feel masculine in that way. I just acting out.
Yeah. I love that. I love the fact that it's just no hesitation for you. And I think a big part of your journey was doing it for you and not to expect anything in return. Not expecting any words of appreciation, no validation, and just really learning that the only validation you need is the validation that you gave yourself.
But since, like I said, you laid it out and you kind of gave us a blueprint of what to do, it made me feel more comfortable because everyone else is doing it. So it felt like that camaraderie. Like, I know behind this action today, I'm not alone. So that's what gave me a lot of comfort.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
How's it going, Mendon? Everyone else? So sorry I'm late. I appreciate your patience as always.
Yeah, we're going through reflections right now. I want to pass on this question to you, Queen. What part of the challenge made you feel the most alive?
Doing push-ups next to the ocean in Cabo was like, I had no idea I was going to get so exhausted doing, like, what was it, 100 or
150.
150? Okay. I was like, I got this. Like, this is going to be no problem. And then we got to like 100, 120, and I was gassed. But then the surroundings and having brothers there with me, it's just like, I don't know, it's like this raw elemental energy from the ocean and from the waves. And And then our partners were there, so there was like an ego aspect to it as well. So yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Nothing like having your spouse, kids watching you boost your ego, man.
Yeah.
What's so great about it is that they are there cheering you on. Like they support you. And what's so beautiful about having purpose in everything you do is that when you clearly relay that purpose with conviction, people will support you. And it just creates so much more focus and clarity in your life. When you don't do the work, you come in scattered. People register the uncertainty in you and they just don't know how to support you in any way. So it's so important to do the work. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful seeing you guys transform that way. And it's literally just a month. The next question I want to ask you guys is what's at minimum, what is the one thing that you are going to continue on in your ritual that you were able to take away from the challenge? All right, let's start with Joseph.
Daily journaling, more intentional journaling, if anything. These days, when I journal, I just throw down my thoughts on what I want to do in the day, what I want to accomplish. But I need to turn that inwards more and ask myself questions.
All right, what about you, Josh?
Definitely the journaling just as a core practice. The breathing techniques and meditation, I think getting more intentional about that or more regular, I think does help a lot. And, it doesn't have to be the exact physical activities we did, but just again, pushing myself to maintain like that mind-body balance and engaging in some sort of, could be even just the outside of my normal workouts, just doing something kind of off the wall, whether it's the cold plunge thing every now and then or whatever, just to like really reset the system.
Yeah.
I've definitely done that at least once or twice since, or I haven't done the full cold shower, but like get up in the morning, I'll just dunk my head in the cold shower right in the morning, just wakes you right up.
Yeah, the cold shower in the Bay Area hits differently than a cold shower in Hawaii. Yeah. All right, Jeremy, what about you? What's the one ritual you could take with you going forward?
Commit to the idea of reflecting before reacting. I think that your first thought, your first reaction to a situation, you can't really be held accountable for, but you definitely can be accountable or need to be accountable for your second thought, your conscious reaction to a situation. I've struggled with that in the past. I'm sure all of us have in some capacity. And so committing to assessing my first thought and identifying if it really aligns with my goals, my values, and if it doesn't, what technique can I apply to bring myself back to where I want to be, using all these different tools that we used over the last 30 days. I will commit to that, to really reflecting before I react.
Beautiful. Have you ever read the book Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl?
No, I haven't even heard of it.
Oh, man. Yeah, he talks about, he's one of the Holocaust survivors being in the Jewish concentration camps. And he was tortured like crazy in those camps. But what he learned a lot about himself was that these guys can do things to my body, but they will not impact me. They will not impact my thoughts. And it was such a powerful thing. But what he really talked about in the book was the fact that there is a stimulus and a response. And if you can learn to really understand the gap between the stimulus and the response, you can learn to respond effectively. Because if you're just simply reacting to the stimulus right away, then you are a slave to your reactions. You are a slave to your nervous system. You are a slave to your unresolved traumas. Yeah, such an impactful book. It's a beautiful book. I highly recommend it.
I just added it to the list. Thank you.
Yeah, I got teary-eyed just reading it, but it's such an awesome book. All right. Bandang. What's the one ritual that you're taking?
Yeah, I love Jeremy's reflect before you act and what you just said. I did read that book. That book was gifted to me by my personal trainer after I finished his 3-month program, and really helped me. And he did that only because it wasn't just that I wanted. I wanted to build a friendship. I wanted to build some mental fortitude that will keep me going for sustainability. He sent me that book and I read it, and yeah, it's so powerful how a person can find so much meaning and a will to survive. That book was really good. For me, hopping off of Jeremy, reflect before acting, it ties into who I am as a person, my energy. I'm very social, extroverted person. So the exercises that force me to be quiet and stop using my phone, like things like that, like no phones, silence for a whole day, 15, 30 minutes sitting still, 30 minutes or 15 of stretching in silence when it gets extroverted. So that's what I want to carry on because it really balanced me a lot, especially, as I said, once I was able to give space, it allowed my family to speak up when I just be quiet. It gave them the floor to share thoughts in the moment, bring up a topic without me always trying to fill it in. And that was a powerful thing for me. So I really want to continue being more silent, like purposely, just to reflect a little bit more.
Allows others to take up the space.
Yeah.
All right. So last question for you guys. What did you guys find like the biggest struggle where you're like, fuck this, I'm not doing this? Any thoughts on that? And why?
Oh, should I go first?
Sure.
Like I said, being silent the whole day of being quiet, it was hard. It was hard. And then I realized moments where I may have accidentally spoke out. Like one of the words I screamed out was, "We have to pray." And I forgot that I couldn't say anything. Because that was a moment when we were trying to put a bid in to get a really nice piano for my daughter, Raywin, because it's a really nice piano. And I really wanted it. And hopefully we are the highest bidder. And just think about my daughter, just things for my family. And I totally forgot. And I said, "We have to pray." I just thought it was really powerful. Like those were the words that came out, the very first thing. And I tried to be quiet after that. But I like that moment. But yeah, that was hard.
I don't know if there's any like specific thing where it's like, I know I don't want to do this, but some of them definitely took more like time and preparation. That was a little bit more of a challenge. Like, I'm a very sensitive dog to noise. So doing like the scream release, I need to like actually go somewhere away from the house. So like in the car, out on the road somewhere. I mean, I think for me, the challenge overall was just more the continuation every day. Like I felt like I got something every time I participated, but like not letting life get in the way of continually taking that time out for yourself to connect, to do the things. So it's still a thing. I think that's, it's like, I think we talked about it on one of the calls too. Like that's part of, I think that's one of the takeaways I had from this journey is like, that is kind of life and it's okay, and give yourself forgiveness and get on and get back to it. You can always pick it back up and keep going.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And that whole raging thing too is like, initially, I would say for most of us, if not all of us, that feeling of like, oh, this is going to bother someone. This is not going to be cool. And it's really awesome that when you can continue doing this work and folks can see the other side of you after raging, they eventually welcome it. that's the relationship that I have with it now with Michelle, is like, if there's something that I feel needs to be expressed because there's a huge trigger that I'm experiencing in that moment, then I'll let her know straight up. And it's such a beautiful thing now, because again, back to that clarity, that focus, that purpose, like when they see who you become on the other side of it, they are fully supportive because they see the full potential, the full expression of who you can be. And it's a beautiful thing. It's very beautiful.
I have one thing that I really struggled with, and it was the confession. And wait, that was one. The other challenge I made up, like I went back and did it later on, but the confession I still have not. And I've struggled with it so much because I wanted to use that challenge to make amends with someone whose trust I broke a long time ago in a past life, you could say, as a different person. I'm still kind of struggling getting to the right place to reach out and really mend that relationship. I know what I'm going to say. It's just a matter of sitting down and doing it.
Thank you for putting that out into the world, because now you make it smaller because you've been able to share with us. So thank you for that. Who is your assigned reflector?
Austin.
Austin. Okay. I'm going to share this portion of the video in our group chat so that he's aware. But feel free to practice. Feel free to practice with him. And here's the thing too, Jeremy, if you haven't practiced with him until our next call on Tuesday, then you're going to practice live with us.
Okay.
You deserve it. Like, you need to do this. If you don't address it, it's going to continue weighing on you and holding you down for the rest of your life. So thank you for bringing that up. All right. All right, guys. So I've been asked many times, what's next? I think some of you have already joined the weekly Contagious Brotherhood, which is always on the table. We have 3 different levels if you ever want to get more involved. Another exciting thing I want to share with you guys is that I am going to host our very first men's retreat. And I have the dates now. It's January 8th to 11th. I am putting it out now. I'll share it with you guys here. So I wanted to choose a spot where it was big enough so that we can be just big kids and just play, and we could just be as loud as we want. So I decided on Lodi. All right. It's a lot of space. It's a lot of space. So let me share with you guys here. Let's see. All right. So this is the compound here. We got a basketball court. We got a swimming pool. We got a lot of space to play. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. We got the dates locked in. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. So very first retreat, and just an opportunity to get deep. And some things I want to share with you guys. What we're going to talk about is everything that we've done on the 30-day challenge, but on a deeper level, because we're going to physically be there. It's not a coincidence. Many of the folks that signed up for the 30-day challenge, I met in person from previous retreats. There's just something about retreats that allows that deeper level of connection. Early bird pricing is $14.97, and I'm going to keep that early bird until the end of August, and then after that it'll be $19.97. It's going to be intimate. I'm only keeping 15 guys maximum in order to maintain an intimate group and container.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, jump on in, Josh. Yeah, I'm super excited for this. This is going to be awesome. I'm also going to show you guys exactly how to rage. There's a very specific way to help you fully express. But yeah, we're going to be doing some exciting things on this retreat. And also, we are bringing by demand, we are bringing back the 30-day challenge. There's going to be some tweaks to some of the days, but it's starting July 1st. So if you guys are interested or know anyone that would benefit from the challenge, let them know. That's going to be exciting. I have a few folks that already joined, so it's going to be a lot more intimate, and I'm probably going to keep the container like 10 people maximum. All right. So with that, just want to thank you guys. It's been an awesome journey and just love doing life with you guys. There's going to be a lot more to come with this. It's just the beginning. There's going to be a whole lot of things coming up. Super excited to share with you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Brendan. I'm really honored to be your brother. And so happy to meet all you fellas too, man. I wish I could be there in person. But my question is, are we able to maybe interact with you guys in some way? Or it's just like it's just a close container with whoever is going to the retreat?
Yeah. So in order for me to maintain the intimacy of the container, I have my own WhatsApp groups, but you can always interact with everyone outside of the container too, like creating a separate group, gathering each other's phone numbers. So feel free to do that.
Is there going to be a channel for everyone in your programs?
Because the community is Contagious Healer on WhatsApp. The community is Contagious Healer. And then we have all the different groups that falls within that community. So if you go up to like the general section or the announcement section, that's where you'll see all the men that's been in.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Any other questions? All right.
No?
Love you guys. It's been a beautiful journey. Again, this is just the beginning. Loving it. All right, guys.
Thanks, boys. Love you all.
Awesome. Talk to you guys soon.
All right.
You guys.